Welcome back into the workshop, and what have we got here for Dave's diary entry? Well, I had made the previous video, and I think it was the previous one, and I'd mentioned about how I had a little bit of a problem with the router moving while in use, and that's not a good thing. And just through the vibrations, it was enough for the wee 6mm thread to turn and the router would drop. Not a good thing. Not too much of a problem in my situation for it being a dimensioning tool, but hey, it shouldn't be doing that, and it's not always going to be used as a dimensioning tool. So I got my wee butane, whatever, gas heater out, one of the ones, wee Dremel thingies, and I heated up the plastic and bent it round. The plastic is from a chipboard flooring, and it's the tongue that is used to join it. So it's the tongue, and it goes into the two grooves on either edge of the sheet of the chipboard flooring. So having kept some for a wee while, I've got a use for it, and I've popped it into place, and I thought, how clever was I? So I made a video saying how clever was I. I didn't actually word it like that, but I thought, this is great. I've come up with a solution for a problem. Turned the video, the recording off, and as I wound the lift itself down to its, this ring, it started binding. I thought, well, that seems strange. It was resistant. I couldn't turn the Allen key. I thought, that's weird, and I had a look at it, and it's actually tilted the whole mechanism, and I'm going, oi, I didn't know it could do that, and I don't want it to do that. And it actually shows how much play there is in the bushings, and it wasn't enough to resist that problem. And I thought, oh, here we go. Anyway, I wound it up and down a couple of times. I wound it back away from the problem area, and then wound it back, and then it seemed to have gone away. And I'm wondering whether the I don't know, but whether the thread has embedded itself in the plastic a little bit more, and now is tracking as part of the lifting mechanism. So that's a good thing. Now I can wind it right down so that this plate and this plate can touch, and as I bent them out of the way, just so that they can stay there and not slide out, because there was one possibility as I was turning the thread, it would want to feed the material out, because all I did is I curved it round in one single curve, and I saw that and I thought, yeah, almost guarantee that when I don't want it to move, it will. So I didn't know whether this was thermal plastic or whatever you call it, can be heated and bend and keep its form, but it seems to be able to do that. So now it's just in a kind of like a W shape, sitting in there. And if I make a mistake at some stage, I can always get rid of it and get some more when I repair it. Anyway, one of the things I thought about when I saw the mechanism tilting, I thought, how immobile is it? Because now that I'm looking at it with a little bit more of I've taken the rose-tinted glasses off, and I looked at it, and sure enough, it can tilt. In fact, what I'm looking at now is no, it's not bad. This may tilt in how it's being held, so don't think it's going to be much of a problem, because it is held quite well. But I thought, well, if this whole bit here can tilt, and you can see the router tilting, that can mean one thing. The router bit's tilting, and it's not going to be perfectly square to the surface. Oh. So, in my infinite engineering desperation again, I measured what that measurement is at the moment, the way I've got the router bit set up, and it happened to be 35mm, and I'm going, oh, that's what this is. So it's a 35mm bit. It does actually fit in there quite firmly. So if I put one of these in each side, which I can do, honestly I can, that one will go in there as well with a wee bit of force. No, it's not wanting to go in. hey, it was in there before. There we go. If I can get that in there and push it up against the pins, rock solid. Now, that only works because it's in the position it's in now for the bit that I've got. So I'm just saying, out of desperations, after me saying how good this little router lift is, I've encountered some of its shortcomings. There is a little bit of play, but I've just taken it out now. Now I can kind of treat it as if it is a rigid little unit. Bit of a bugger though having to do that, and to be fair, there'll be few times that I'll ever need to worry about doing that, but if I have to, I'll flip them well, because it's nothing worse than treating the tool like it is perfect, and it's not, and it will haunt you if you don't address it. The way to address that is get a better one, David, and the price that you spent for this, put that down to, this is the learning curve that you have to go through. Sometimes that learning curve costs your wallet and your credit card a little bit, but it's the learning curve you go through to realise that often you get what you pay for. This, to me, is worth the money. So I got what I paid for in a good sense. But it's not as good as probably some of the more expensive ones. The problem with that logic is, until you've got the good one, you won't know whether it too has some of those shortcomings that, because you paid all that money, they won't have, will they? Of course. And I've been bitten like that as well, where I've paid the money for good items, good reviewed items, and it still hasn't met my expectations. Now, that could mean a couple of things, couldn't it? Could it not? It could mean that it was crap and the reviewers were polishing something that shouldn't be polished, or my demands are higher and I'm a little bit more critical, and that, yeah, the reviewer maybe would say, oh, this is for this purpose, it's good. Well, that is, honestly, I'm happy with that, but I'd be more happy if it was dead, rock solid in that area. And that's where I see some of these ones, any of the ones with bushings, I'm always a little bit skeptical about. The one I like, and I can't remember for the big router lift, the one that I like is the one that's got the 4 pillars, but they are connected together with a chain and sprockets. And I like that idea because it's mechanically sound at the get-go. Says I, not having had one of those. But the ones with bushings, you are trusting in the quality and the choice as you get it supplied to you. Because I've had the experience where I've paid good money and the bushings were crap. I can't really emphasize how disappointed I was, because the reviews were very, very good, and I saw the reviews being executed, or the product being used, and it was producing the very thing that the reviewers were saying. So I trust what they said, but the one that I received, it wasn't very good at all. So I was very, very disappointed. This, for what I paid for it, pretty damn good, but you can see it's small, very, very small, and for the most part won't affect me, but I just wanted to have that assurance, as it were. So all I'm going to do for this is, when it comes time, and I know that the new router bit that I'm going to get for it, which was a bit bigger than the one that's in there now, a bit longer, I can put it in place, lock it off, just gently, very, very gently, just put these pieces of, or bits of something in there, against the posts, move it down until it just kisses them so it can't tilt. So I'm not like I'm straining any mechanism. So, yeah, disappointing in some ways, but hey, you get what you pay for. And I've got quite a good little router lift there. And I'll live with any shortcomings. It's a bit like us, isn't it? I'm sure we've all been, in a situation, relationship, employment, where we might have it, but we might be falling a little bit short of the ideal. And we have to sometimes make up for those shortcomings somehow. Okie doke. Yes. Oh my gosh. Right. Sounds like I've got some wisdom, but trust me, not so much. Happy. Finish tidying it up and set it up ready for some cutting of some custom wood. Yay! At flaming last. Rightio. See you in the next one. Bye now.